What's happening, my fellow geeks and geekettes? Welcome to a brand new episode of Chris's Custom Collectibles, and as promised today, we are going to be pimping out the Jakks Pacific Darth Vader figure. Now, if you guys saw in some previous videos, I mentioned that this guy will be one of the upcoming custom collectibles. I got him on clearance at Toys R Us for $12.01, and I only realized this morning. I don't know how well you guys can see it. He's missing a tusk right there. So one of the things we will be doing today is taking a little silicone mold of this tusk here, casting up a tiny little resin one, and replacing the missing tusk on the mask. Now, apart from that, I'm also going to be reposing this hand. I want it up in the, classic Vader position. The lightsaber hilt I will be removing from the belt, and I will be boring a hole in his closed fist here, putting the hilt in. I will be getting a Perspex rod, spraying it with a nice transparent red and attaching it to the hilt so the lightsaber is ignited. There's also some scuff marks on the back of the helmet here, so I'm gonna have to re-gloss the whole helmet. I'm gonna try my best to detail it as best I can. Of course, replace the cape and the tunic because this material just makes my blood run cold. I'm actually gonna keep the chain here for the final brand new cape. Also, just clean up the armor here with some nice Model Master silver. I'm just gonna mask off the black areas and go over the silver again. Now for the base, it's pretty simple. I had my mate Miles, who has a CNC machine. He made the Empire logo in black Perspex, which just came up beautifully, that nice gloss Perspex. This is just a standard wooden base you can get from Bunnings Warehouse or any craft shop. So I figure we're gonna paint this a nice gloss red and then stick this on top. Simple, yet effective. Now, I am probably going to offend some Vader fans in the process because I know how ruthless some of you guys are, so I do apologize. I will try and do my best with this figure. I just want to give him that nice dynamic pose, make him look a lot better than what he looks now, because the poor thing looks a little bit tragic. He was in the clearance bin, so I feel sorry for him. We've got to make him over. So first things first, we've got to take him apart. We've got to get rid of that cape, the tunic, take the belt off, take all the limbs off, and then we're going to go from there. So with that being said, let's get to it. All right, geeks, so I've got the brand new tunic and cape ready to go. Now I'll go through exactly how I did it. So what you see here and here are the original pieces of fabric that came with the original figure. Now, like I mentioned in the intro, this shit makes my blood run cold because, I don't know if you can see, my fingers are constantly covered in glue and resin. I get a lot of like sharp hard edges on my fingers, so when it catches on this material, my blood runs cold. So what I did was I laid out, because I wanted the same shape of the original tunic for this. Now this is almost, well, it is see-through, but you got to keep in mind that it's going to be not draping down fully alongside Vader's legs. I'm going to have it tucked around. That's the way I like the tunic. So I kept the shape of the original tunic with this. So it's essentially just taking that, putting it on the fabric, tracing it around. There we go, the tunic's done. Now in terms of the cape, I kept the chain from the figure, and it's this nice velvety sort of fabric. So the inside will be velvet, the outside has this matte kind of look going on, which I see sometimes with Vader costumes. Now this is the original cape, and what I did was I laid it flat on this fabric and I doubled it up. So 1, 2. So it splays out twice as much as this cape, if you get my drift. And I just sewed the chain in place either side, and it drapes beautifully on the figure. Does hit the ground a little bit, but I like that. I kind of like that elegant, kind of epic looking cape. Now in terms of the helmet, you've got that nice gloss look going on there, which I'm very happy with. All those scuff marks on the back of the helmet are now gone, as you can see. And the stand, I mentioned, it's just so simple. Like I said, this was CNC'd by my buddy Miles. He just got a file off the internet, and this is just black acrylic. And I will be going around the edge here with some black paint, just a nice black trim. Then we're just gonna get some Loctite and glue it on top like so, and it's just easy, very easy. Now I just wanna point out that I've come to the conclusion that Vader is very subjective. Not everyone likes every single Vader costume. Everyone has their own favorite, and I totally get it. You guys got to understand, there's only so much you can spend on these customs before it gets ridiculously expensive. So I'm keeping with Revenge of the Sith look, because this is what this figure is originally based off. You can tell by the chest box and the helmet. So look, I'm going to try and make it as epic as I can. Now I got a Perspex rod that came in 2 meters for $8 from this place called Plastics. They've actually done some display cases for me. I bored a hole in the actual hilt itself, fits right in perfectly. So shortly we'll be going in with some transparent red spray paint. And firstly, of course, we're going to be cutting it to size and scale and just be rounding the tip off here, and then that should make a pretty damn good lightsaber. But I must warn you guys that this is not going to look perfect because it's such a tightly closed fist. It's not exactly going to house this perfectly. It may be a case of cutting the hilt in half and gluing it at either end, but either way, we're about to find out. Okay, so as you can see, I did have to cut the lightsaber in half because there's just no way I could get the whole hilt through there. So I bored a hole, the top of the fist here, cut the top of the hilt off. You see it slots in just perfectly like so. And then vice versa. With the other end, we're gonna bore a hole there, and then I'm gonna line it up so it looks perfectly like he's gripping the hilt. And there we go, these are just temporarily pushed in place for now, but I will straighten them up and then glue them in place. So thanks very much for watching, guys. As always, Vader is now available for purchase on my Etsy store, and this will come with a personalized autograph from yours truly. I'm just about to start filming the intro to my next cosplay update video for Captain Boomerang, which will be up next week. As you can see, the jacket has arrived. I love it. It's so damn cool. So the video will be about weathering it and also the catcher's glove. Now I'm going to be taking a bit of a break from some of the things that I offer on Etsy. If you can see here, I got to ship all of this off tomorrow. So if you guys go to my Etsy store and you notice that the giant display cow and the half scale mech cows are not there, I've just temporarily taken them off because they were the ones that were selling the most. They're a lot of work to make, so I'm just taking a bit of a break for a couple of weeks. I've got a friend staying from the States next week, and I'll probably be doing some vlogs with her, so that should be pretty cool. But yeah, like, I've been working 2 weeks straight on all of this, so I'm a little bit... Hope you guys are well, hope you guys are happy, be merry, be silly, and until next time, geeks, please always remember, cosplayers do it best.